beginning of the show, I was talking a little bit about this experience I had where I did a reading with a psychic who it was not referred to me by anybody. And so I didn't have knowledge of this person beyond what I had seen online. And it really was not a very good experience. And, I can share a little bit about why it wasn't a good experience. But basically, he was not the primary thing that started out was he was not good at connecting with me. And, I've done readings with other psychics, and I have a couple of friends who are psychics. And it's really important that there be that connection between you and the person doing the reading. And he had no bedside manner whatsoever. And there was a sense of being rushed throughout the entire thing. It was like, if I wanted to ask a question, I got a one-sentence answer. There was no expanding on information. And it really did feel like this sense of urgency. Hurry up and ask all your questions and, don't waste time kind of thing. And there were things that he got wrong. And so there was some good evidence right there that, okay, so if he is incorrect about this, then is anything that he tells me viable, or is everything suspect? And he also used just a lot of kind of cliche kind of stuff where it was like the kind of thing that you might be sharing a problem you have with an acquaintance, and it would be like a some sort of platitude they would give you, like, oh, it'll be fine, or, oh yeah, this, do this or do that, or this will happen. And just really nothing where I felt like there was some additional knowledge. However, what happened that kind of threw me for a loop where there were a couple of areas in my life where he made kind of dire predictions about what was going to happen. And after it was over, I went away from the whole experience going, okay, I'm not impressed, and I don't really feel like this guy knows what he's talking about or knows what he's doing. And yet those two places where he made these dire predictions, I held on to, and it really upset me and really kind of threw me for a loop. And what I found really interesting is that I was conscious that that was happening. I was saying to myself, okay, this guy didn't know what he was talking about here. He didn't know what he was talking about there. So why do I believe him about these two things? Because everything is suspect, because there are things where I really know that he was incorrect. And yet I didn't seem to be able to let go of it. And thank goodness what happened is a day and a half later, I had a session with the energy healer that I work with. And she's like, yeah, you let that guy, he's in your space. So we're just going to clear him out. And so we did some clearing around it. And then I was fine. But what it really highlighted for me was that when I know that this is not connecting for me, then I have to trust myself. I am the one who knows what's right for me. I am the one who has the internal wisdom. And yes, sometimes it is helpful to have a practitioner of some sort kind of shine the flashlight on things. So, a psychic or an astrologer or a tarot reader can sometimes kind of get in the crevices where you maybe are having trouble seeing and illuminate that. But if what they illuminate isn't resonant for me, then I need to believe myself, not this other person, even though they may be in this case, self-proclaimed expert at whatever it is. And after this experience, I had several dreams in the nights following that really were about telling me to trust myself when there's a conflict between what feels right or true to me and what someone else is telling me. So I really did get some validation from my higher self or from source or God or whatever word you like to use through these dreams. Yeah, Laura, you know what's right. Don't listen to this other person. So as our light bulb moment, let me just share how you can go about learning to trust yourself and your own guidance over that of others when it's appropriate. And the first thing is to notice when you think that someone else might know better than you do. And, as I said, there are all times that we can use guidance from other people or help getting in touch with that wisdom that we already have. But pay attention to what your gut reaction is to what they are telling you. If you have a negative reaction, look at whether it's because what they said to you is true, but it was something you didn't really want to know or you didn't want to hear, because that can happen. Or are you having a negative reaction because you know this just isn't true for you? And it might take a little bit of trial and error to know the difference between those two things. But practice, that's what this is about, is practice. And then do what your gut says is right for you, regardless of what this other person has said to you.